right, welcome back in 5 Minutes with Sean, maybe 10. Last week, don't forget, this is the second part of last week's episode, which was the 28 tips to negotiating with car dealers. We had a lot of fun with the list. It started off talking about some research, which we all believe we should be doing. Bringing that research with us, which is always a pretty great idea. Don't forget, it should be just your cell phone nowadays. It used to be binders and shit. People really go crazy about it. Don't let the salesperson take the wheel. Yes, but no, depending on what you need from your salesperson. If you've never done it before, the right salesperson will walk you through the journey. It's invaluable. Avoid the weekends was one of the tips, and because the prices were higher, I think we all agree that's bullshit. So we'll continue to move past that. Credit unions, yes. Pre-approvals, yes. That was the first half of the list. Let's get into the second half of the list.
Number 14.
Number 14.
Ask to see the loan offer. I don't really.
I mean, you're going to see it. You're going to be in a business office. It's again, if you have these doubts, you need to leave. Number 15.
Don't reveal how you plan to pay.
Okay, this is a huge beef of mine that always has been. And here's why. If we aren't talking about what the money is, which I realize is a difficult thing for people to do, talk about money. I get that, I do. But I required it of my customers as much as I possibly could. Because it wasn't about where and how to make money. It was about where and what actually fit what you could actually afford. People do weird math when they start looking at buying cars. Somehow a $40,000 car only costs $400 a month. I have no idea how people arrive at these mathematician works, but they're not correct. Be honest. Give a range. Don't bullshit people. Don't waste people's time. One of the first tips in this article was to let people know you're serious. That comes with how you plan to handle business. Because again, as also mentioned earlier in this article, incentives that you need to be well versed on apply to cash, they apply to finance, they apply to lease. Okay? So understand everything about it and most certainly tell people how you plan to do business. No, don't hide that. That is a dumb piece of advice. I'm telling you now, don't do it. You're going to make it harder on everyone. Next.
Keep trade-in negotiations separate. No.
Also dumb. Also dumb. If as an industry, all we're being asked of to do is be transparent, the same applies to the consumer in regards to that. And there are so many tools out right now in that space to help everyone. Shout out to Marnie and her crew. There's things you can be doing here that make it easier. Do you know what I used to do to appraise a customer's trade in 2005, let's call it? I would send out an email to the customer with exterior, interior, glass, because that's a big thing in Colorado, tires, and then a scale of 1 to 5 to the right of that, and then ask them to pick the number that most applied to their vehicle. Then we started to ask for pictures, which I've said before on the show was a fucking disaster, because people would upload the most gigantic image. It would take 14 hours to download, and when you got it, it would be a zoom in of the right fender, nothing else, not the side of the car like they had hoped, just terrible, right? But we did it. We gave people ranges. Don't separate these situations. Most of you that are going to be watching this and buying cars are going to be negotiating with a car with a current note against it. If you do not factor that note in and that note's payoff, then the whole deal gets screwed. Don't do this. This is back-to-back bad pieces of advice. So far, 15 and 16, no good. 17.
Don't overestimate your trade-in value.
You'll do that if you listen to advice number 16. Okay? That's what you'll end up doing, is overestimating your value. There are plenty of places for you to go research them. There are everyone in their mother wants to acquire your car right now, okay? It is a hot commodity. Go online, find out your car's value. Understand it. Doesn't mean it's what you owe, people. I just mentioned this. Those two aren't always the same. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Okay? Understand the number. 18.
Don't negotiate based on MSRP.
Yes. I would agree. Everyone knows the cost of vehicles now. You can find it everywhere. Some dealers are willing to do it, some aren't. Doesn't matter. Know this though, with regards to that, inventory levels will dictate that. That becomes basic supply and demand. And right now, we got a serious supply issue in the industry. So don't be surprised if you're seeing a little bit higher prices, but don't know this. People are willing to negotiate and work with you all over the country. So don't if you don't want to limit your search, don't. You can certainly open it up. All right, 19.
Don't negotiate based on monthly payments.
Look, you're hiding behind your computer. It's not that. It's, okay, don't negotiate with monthly payments. If you have a budget, hey, boss?
The budget is the life.
The budget, right? When she bought her car, she gave the budget. She gave a budget of $278 because she knows down to the penny what she can afford to spend. Someone came back at $299.
And I was
gone. And she was gone. She's gone. She said, hold on, can we, no. I said $278, you gave me $299. So, you guys, budgets are budgets. Give a range, and people, look, give it lower, okay? If you can afford $300 a month, tell the dealer $250. Like, is it that hard? It's transparent. Here's my budget range. Yeah, my budget's anywhere from $250 to $350. But maybe yours is only $300. Doesn't matter. Maybe you can afford it to $350, but you haven't seen what that buys you. There is a difference. Okay? It's definitely something that can take place. It's definitely something that will happen as a part of the process. So don't be afraid of that part of the process. All right, 20.
Never turn over your license or keys.
You can't go for a test drive without a license. Now, if you want to scan it from your phone, it's fine. The people are there. We're there. Okay, I get it. I'm hip to it. Your keys, in order to have your trade appraised, you're gonna have to give up your keys to have it driven. This is not the late 80s, early 90s. People are not throwing your keys on the roof, telling you they lost them. Like, this is not a thing, okay? So that's more of a fear-monger. Number 20, I don't care for that. You're going to have to give up your license to do trade-ins and to do paperwork, and you're going to have to give up the other part to do that. Again, unless you get all this stuff done ahead of time online, then so be it. 21.
Never agree to an early credit check.
If you listen to the first half of these advice about pre-approvals and research, none of that should really apply. So early credit check. If you're credit challenged, get out in front of it. Don't bother looking at cars till you understand what your credit affords you. This isn't a game. This is reality. This is how your life is. It's not a negative. It's just it's the way to do business. Be upfront. Quit wasting your time and other people's. All right, 22.
Say no to fees.
I'm someone who says no to fees. I get that. It's all part of the negotiation process. It's all part of understanding all the line items. So if you don't want to pay for window tint, then don't pay for window tint. And if they say it's on the car, tell them it's their problem. I get that. I got no problem with that. The add-ons you don't want that someone says you have to have, if they want to sell that car to you, then you don't have to pay for them. I got no problem with it. Next.
Negotiate the final price only.
This goes back to the other one. No. You can go ahead and do that. You can look at final price, but unless you're getting ready to stroke a check, final price don't mean shit. Because it's still got to be factored into payments, term, credit, all factors. Stop negotiating against it. Unless you're, again, writing checks, negotiate to the cash price, have fun, enjoy your day. Next.
Don't be afraid to ask for a salesperson swap.
Ooh, a salesperson swap. I have swapped customers before, so I guess why not? I realized that my rapport with these customers was not going to happen, but they were going to buy a car. And they did. I just swapped them to someone who was better suited to them than I was. And I think that's a thing. I'm not afraid of that. But there's places you can do research now. Dealerships talk to you about their salespeople. Social media is a great place to see about social media salespeople, like my guy Jeff Hunter. People probably go to his Facebook page, see who he is, and go do business with him. So do your research as a part of that discussion. Next.
Don't be afraid. Oh, no, that was the...
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't forget the details. See, they're so the same.
It's no wonder the shit runs together on you. Yeah, don't forget the details. Bring all the details. Do your research. All part of the list.
Avoid unnecessary add-ons.
I just talked about that. They're not unnecessary if you want them. But if they're on the car and they want you to pay for them and you don't, then say you don't. And leave it at that.
Stick to your guns. Walk away.
She's completely right, people. If there was one piece of advice that I would give you about buying a car, is stick to your guns and do not allow people to waste your time. Not anymore. You don't have to deal with it. If you heard my advice, I'm hesitant to repeat my advice because if people took me up on it, I'd become a very busy guy. But advice from episode 1, go back and watch that episode if you missed it. Take me up on it. Don't waste your time. Was that
Last
it?
one.
That was it?
No.
Oh, this is the last one? Okay, all right, last one.
Are you sitting down?
I am.
Be fair.
This individual waited 27 pieces of advice to get to the second most important over the one I just told you, followed by e-negotiating or phone negotiating. Yeah, agreed. Be fair to yourself. Be fair to the dealership. Understand this, my friends, buying cars in the general public. If your car costs $40,000, the dealer didn't pay $0 for it. Their markup is less than your grocery markup. It's far less than your jewelry markup. So just because it costs more doesn't mean the markup is larger. In most cases, it's probably even slimmer, especially on some of the vehicles, just the way prices are being negotiated right now, how aggressive people are being. This is not something they pay $0 for. The car stork does not drop those on their lot. They pay for them. So please, be fair to yourselves, be fair to the process. Well, that was fun. We had a good time. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you got some good pieces of advice. My best advice to you is do everything you can online. Be ready to go into the dealership to finalize the deal. And if you're wasting more than 2 hours of your life, get the hell out. Thank you guys so much and have a wonderful, wonderful day.